Welcome back. This is, as you might have guessed, Blockbuster Pick-ems. This is a wonderful video podcast and also a friendly film competition.
Friendly.
Anything for my friends?
Fierce
Very
film
unfriendly.
competition. A fucking awesome film competition. Well, we play a game called, as you might have heard earlier, Blockbuster Pick-ems. And before we get into how do you play that game, I'm going to introduce you to everybody. My name's David. To my right, this is Lauren.
I'm Lauren. Hello.
To my
Hey,
further
Lauren.
right, thanks Lauren, thanks for that.
No problem.
Michael Fisher.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, everybody.
And over
He
here,
said hey to me.
a multi-time champion,
Everybody.
and
Yeah,
also
I've fallen that
a
category.
pretty decent guy, Matthew Sanford. All right,
What's
we
up,
are your
guys?
film
Decent.
gurus.
Did you decide on that?
Yeah, Matt Decent.
All around decent person.
Super decent.
Sometimes.
All around okay, gentlemen.
Nifty, thrifty, kind of dude. All right, well,
Thank you.
thank you. I thought you were talking to me. I'm
No.
going to take the compliment.
I'm always
Thank
talking to you.
All right. So basically, this is how it works. We are 4 film gurus in a heated 10-week competition. We play a game called Blockbuster Pick-ems. Each weekend, we pick the top 5 films. If we pick a film that's within the top 5, we get 5 points. If that film is in the correct spot, you get another 5 points. And if you can guess the total gross within 100,000 over or under the actual total gross of the weekend, you get another 10 points.
That was dizzying.
That is a total of 20 points a slot. Fill all
lot of
5
points.
slots, and you get 100 points.
I just love to fill slots.
Matt,
Oh,
Why we
boy.
don't take
Whipping
this is why we
it
don't
out,
take you to nice
filling his
places.
slots.
Whipping his picks out, and filling slots.
No more.
This is why we got thrown out of that restaurant last week.
And the MGM.
Right.
So basically, we've had 7 scoring weeks, one of which we will be updating you on. But as we left it last week, I was in last place. I was tied with Lauren, but I was pretty low. We
On
had
points for.
Mike slightly above Lauren and I, and then Matt was in the lead. And this week was very interesting.
Great.
So,
Super.
let's get right to it. Matt, what exactly happened, and who came out as the victor?
All right. So in the box office, the Crazy Rich Asians reigned supreme, and they won with $26.5 million in the box office.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, it's a lot of money
Well,
for that
wowzers.
film, especially for a film that came out on a Wednesday. Still survived the 2 days, and then went the whole weekend to just
I
completely
think it
kill
made close
Like
to
30
$50 million with the
Yeah.
5-day
Yeah,
release.
the whole total.
This was
crazy.
one though where they were projecting it was going to be 34, 33,
For, like,
and then it
the
landed
5-day
down at this 20,
Right.
26 or whatever.
Number 2 was The Meg at 21.1 million. Number 3 was Mile 22, Marky Mark in Mile 22 is $13.7 million.
One of Marky
Is
Mark's
that the
worst
name?
openings.
Yeah, that's a,
Yeah.
He's
And
not.
Peter
He's not
Berg.
going to win the Oscar for that one, like he
No.
said he
Oh.
would in popular.
It's not even popular.
Because Jason Statham had something to say about that.
and Tom Cruise.
And Jason Tatum.
Because Mission Impossible 6 came in with 10.7 million, just sapping that 10.7 million away from the
that
Meg
sounds gross.
and Mile 22. Number 5 was what, Alpha.
Alpha.
Yeah.
Alpha?
What?
Who could have predicted that?
10.3 million. Definitely not the person who won.
Yeah, but I guess that all of the top 5 movies. You got
Because
lucky.
I won this week. Segway. Have you guys ever ridden a Segway?
No.
I've never ridden a Segway.
I've written a segue.
We've written the word Segway. on a
Nailed
piece of
it.
paper. That's pretty cool. Close. So I got first place. I got extremely lucky, and I ended up guessing
As always.
10.6 on Mission Impossible 6, and it got 10.7. So I ended up winning that 10 extra points that are
Only
so
had gone up to
crucial
10.8.
because I didn't even put Alpha in my top 5. Sorry, Lauren. And so I ended up getting 40 points, and then in second place was Lauren because she guessed Alpha. Way to go, Lauren. Let's see.
Thanks.
Lauren got 35 points. She
Yeah.
was right behind me. She was
Wow.
probably
If you
doing her
would've-
numbers like 35. Oh,
That's
yeah.
a
And then she was
wonderful
like,
F,
Mike.
sweetheart.
And then saw Mike had 30, saw Dave had 30. She was like, oh my gosh, I'm so good. And then, no, Matt guessed Mission Impossible.
Ironically, the two people that put Crazy Rich Asians in first place
Yeah.
both got tied for last place.
Oops.
Yeah, that sucks because I guessed Mission Impossible. I
Mhm.
would have totally gotten last place. I would have had, what,
25 points.
25 points.
In a world in
25
which,
points.
all right. So what happened in third?
So in third and second place, I'm sorry, in third and fourth place. I'm sorry, I already gave second place. That was Lauren. In third and fourth place was Mike and Dave. They went to the tiebreaker round, and Dave was off by 13.9. No, I'm sorry. Mike was off by 13.9, and Dave was off by 5.8. So Dave took it. Mike got last place. Sorry, Mike.
I either get first or last this season. I don't get any seconds or thirds. I don't like those.
Really,
I either
Ricky?
get the first or the last. I got first place 2 weeks in a row.
Either
Before
3
that,
points or 0.
before that, I got last place 2 weeks in a row. So it's going well.
It's how
Now,
it
with
goes.
I do want to give a little shout out. There was a Reddit user, R Hernandez 091204. Way to go,
Get those
R.
number
Hernandez,
rights.
091204. Is that the
101294?
zip code? I'm not really sure. Anyway, I don't really care. But
Wow.
he did really well. He ended up getting 40 points, and he tied with me. But then the tiebreaker, of
Glad
course,
someone
he did not beat me.
So
So.
glad someone beat him.
Yeah, because we are experts after
Yeah.
all, right, guys? Anyway, so
They did a good job too. If you're watching, I noticed that they put they specified, make sure that this is the Friday to Sunday pick
Yeah.
for the crazy.
Andy gave the top
Rich
and
eight.
the 5 day.
So very good job. You almost beat us. So
Yeah,
we
paid
almost had to
attention to
watch a
detail.
film, but since you didn't, you suck.
Yeah.
And
I thought it
That's
was
how it
pretty
goes.
interesting this past week because, Dave, you and I had the same total gross. And if we would have tied, I don't even know what would have happened.
well, we haven't figured that out yet. It's never happened.
Never
So
happened.
Not going
Yeah.
to.
This hasn't happened yet.
It might actually result in a real tie.
Yeah.
But we'll get
Like a
there when
necktie?
that actually happens.
Like
yeah.
just a necktie?
Exactly.
A real tie. This is the tie.
You both had to wear a tie in that
That
episode.
episode. So as for the results of the leaderboards, I got 3 points. Just cementing my position.
All right, move on.
So second place is open.
Second place is Mike.
For me.
Lauren is in third, and David is in last.
So to remind you, to be in the final game, this has happened in multiple seasons where one of us has got ahead. The second spot is a big deal because we've had a couple people sneak into the
real
second
close
spot.
calls,
So
like points for that get you in.
yeah,
or,
Matt's
you know,
really got to
ties
start
and-
losing out. And even if it doesn't look too good for Lauren
I have a
and
good feeling this week.
it doesn't look too good for myself, I guess. All right.
So those are the results, and we encourage you guys to keep playing with us. Go on Reddit; you'll see it in the our
Yeah, thanks,
box
Mr.
office
Hernandez.
subreddit. You'll be able to comment on the post on Thursday night or Friday night, whenever I end up getting to posting it, and then and you'll also be able to get it. At Facebook, you can comment. On Instagram, you can comment. Wherever you literally send a mail copy of your picks. I don't
It's probably
care.
not
Well, it
the
was like a
best
couple weeks
idea,
ago.
though.
We all left for Vegas, and we left Matt to post it by himself.
Yeah, I was literally the only one here. It really.
We'll see you on
sucked.
Saturday.
Back an
I got a
extra day and
bunch
a
of
half.
like Snapchats and stories of all these crazy things that were happening.
man.
My brother won like $500 playing.
And
this
then he
big
lost
spin wheel thing, and then he
$500.
lost, and then he won it again at some point. It was like, what the hell?
Then he jumped off the Mirage.
Yeah.
We were all like,
and
no,
he
don't.
skydived onto another roof where
And
there
it
was
was
a party
all
going
Where he won
on.
another $500, but then threw it off the. No, okay.
Did you know that a bottle on the rooftops $100? Dave didn't. Dave stole it and then jumped off the building again.
So that's all I got. Those are the results of the
Wowzers.
league and of the box office. So there you go.
All right, well, not to corner you, Mike, but we're gonna hop on over into Mike's movie corner of the week.
This
You feel
is my
really
favorite
cornered right now,
corner.
Mike? Is it like
Okay.
fight or flight right now? Are
Getting
you
a little,
cornered?
getting a little claustrophobic. Up in
So
here.
Mike,
Use
Mike,
this as a weapon.
Mike's corner basically has one purpose. It's to let all of us know what we're playing with this week. So, Mike, what are the new movies that we have to look forward to?
Well, this is the end of summer, so it's getting a little sluggish in the movies theaters this week. Next couple weeks are actually going to be a little bit sluggish. So this week, only 2 movies are going to be talked about. Starting with the movie coming out in the most theaters in over 3,000 theaters, Happytime Murders. Set in a world where humans and puppets coexist, but puppets are viewed as second-class citizens. Puppets.
Sesame Street?
Second-class citizens. Puppets cast in an 80s children TV show begin to get murdered one by one, and a former disgraced puppet cop turned private eye takes on the case.
Why was he disgraced?
I don't want to spoil
See
it.
the movie.
He the
Jeez.
puppet is
Oh, the
is a
puppet
key.
is the one.
The puppet,
But
I
Melissa
think
McCarthy's in
Melissa
this movie?
McCarthy is in it. So is
So
Joel
hot.
McHale, Elizabeth Banks,
Dave's
Maya
into that.
Don't
Rudolph,
laugh.
I'm just
and
saying.
I think the voice for the disgraced puppet, I think, is Leslie David Baker, who
Oh,
was
her.
Stanley Hudson from The Office.
Her?
Him, yeah.
Good
This
one, Matt.
this movie's directed by Brian Henson, who's the son of Jim Henson. So the puppets running the family.
So that's a thing.
Yeah, that exists.
So it should be good, right?
Sure.
I like a good puppet movie.
What was his name? Leslie is his first name?
Leslie David Baker.
Yeah, see, that always throws me off. It's almost like before I saw who Sacha Baron Cohen was, I was like, is she hot?
Oh my gosh. I asked a group of kids, I was like, you got to watch out for pop culture references. I can talk about Keanu Reeves all day, but you guys don't understand any of these jokes. And they're like, I know who she is. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I literally said Zac
Point.
Efron to my ninth graders, and they were like, who?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Zac Efron.
I was like, wait a second.
Slipping with the kids.
Because he's a 30-year-old, dude.
But he's still at the Teen Choice Awards, winning surfboards and stuff.
Sweating with pointy nipples.
Whoa.
Zach, call me.
Do you really pay attention to those?
I know that restraining order means
Hey,
nothing.
when
You
they're
don't
that
want that
pointy,
call.
who can't pay attention?
The other movie coming out this week in just about 1590, very specific number. 1,590
Oh,
years.
like in the
Not
year
want them.
15.
In the year 1590.
Axel, not the body spray. AXL. This is from Global Road Productions, which is this is their fourth movie that they produced.
What are
Show
the other
Dogs,
three?
Midnight Sun, and Hotel Artemis. Did you think I wasn't
Show
going to know the other
Dogs.
three?
Was Show Dogs a version of Showgirls but with dogs?
I hope so. That pool scene would have been way different.
Way weird. Dogs and
The
Show
best
Dogs.
I can explain on this is there's a robot dog made by the government.
Oh, good. No more dogs.
A
Nice.
teen
Oh,
that
yes.
rides a dirt bike, finds him, befriends him, and the government wants the dog back. That's
Yeah,
as
because-
best I can get.
And the dog's name is Axel. Guarantee it. Bet $500. Who wants in
No.
on that action?
I'm not sure this movie will make
I feel like I'm
$500.
gonna lose.
Yeah.
I think it's an acronym
It's
too.
a PG movie, and it's a family. It's labeled as a family adventure. The only main person that's in this movie is Thomas Jane.
Oh, yes, the
Yeah,
Punisher.
the Punisher is in this movie.
No, not that.
I think
Not the new Punisher. The original. Not the original.
Dolph
the-
Lundgren was the original one, I
Right.
guess. So he was the second original.
He was the second one with the
'Cause then there was a
John
third
Travolta family.
one.
Yeah, then there's a third
and he was a
one with
professional
Jigsaw.
wrestler.
Yeah.
Lot of dudes, lot of punishment.
But those are the movies of the week.
Well then.
Wowzers.
What
That-
a corner.
That's a
What
shorter.
it was a shorter corner.
I
shorter
felt
corner.
cornered.
Well, let's get you out. Let's get you into some open space
Oh,
now.
feels so
Back
much
into
better.
the
I'll put down my shanking
the,
device. Okay.
the lightning dome that we call round 8. Because this is the lightning round.
No
This
more
is where
bells.
we-
No more bells.
Bing, bing, bing.
Oh.
This is where we pick the picks and we whip them out and we
Ew.
compete.
I just hit my
So
nose
we
on
go
my
in order of who won. So I would think that that's going to be Matt. Matt, go ahead and start us out.
Rub
And
that in your face right
don't
there.
A little bit,
try
huh?
try
keep my
too
hands
hard
up
to,
the whole
to
time
do
during
well.
this.
Oh, put them down.
You're gonna
Maybe make
put them.
this
You're gonna keep
interesting.
them up during your losing
You need some
picks?
Axe
Go for it.
body
Axel
spray over
body
here.
spray.
All right, Matt, take it away.
I'm just gonna go for it. Number
Go.
1 is Crazy Rich Asians. I think they're just gonna hold on to that spot. Popular movie, popular following with the book and everything like that. 17 even on that one, 17 million. I think in second will be Happytime Murders. I don't see it doing very well. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of ads for it, but I'm also really confused by a lot of the ads. Like, is this a Geico commercial? Is this an Allstate? I'm really
They've recently come out
confused.
with
Is it a car
ads
commercial?
with puppets saying that this is not a kids movie. It's a rated
Right.
R movie.
As
Don't
they
bring
should-
your kids.
Right. So I don't see it making a whole ton of money. I mean, maybe a lot of parents will be fooled and bring their kids to this movie. That'd be
I've seen it.
hilarious.
I don't think they're gonna get them in if it's rated R.
No,
yeah, you
no,
gotta
you
can
smuggle
see
it into a
rated R
bag.
with the
Any
parental
parents
guidance,
out there,
right.
you can buy a large duffel bag, fit 2-3 children into the
Well, there was a
Happytime
big
Murders.
problem with the Wolverine movie, Logan. A lot of parents took their kids to see that, and all
Yeah,
of a
there's
sudden
a
they're
little
like,
girl.
"Oh my gosh,
Oh,
there's
man.
this violence
Throat
everywhere." So,
slashing and
yeah.
And number
Would
3.
you
Where'd
put
you
Happy
put it
Time
at?
at?
I'm sorry, 14.5 million.
That was only number 2.
Number 2.
Now
Yeah,
number
there's
3.
not a lot. Like Mike said, it's slowing down. The Meg is going to be number 3 with 10.9 million. Number 4, I'll give it to Mile 22 with 8.1 million. And Axel is not making the top 5. I just does not have enough theaters nor enough publicity. I'm going to
Bandwidth.
say number to bandwidth to go. Yeah, Mission Impossible. I put Mission Imp. 6.5 million. It looks like an 8, but I'm
Ooh.
going to say 5.
All right, hop, skip, jump to Lauren.
Hop, skip, jump over here.
Hey, Lauren.
Hey
Hi, Lauren.
guys. So here we are, and
This is
number
her
one.
Happy Time Murders voice.
Yeah.
She's the voice of a puppet. Yeah.
Okay. Number 1, Crazy
We should have
Rich
done the whole show with
Asians,
puppets.
15.8. Number 2, Happytime Murders. I put Happytime. I think Happytime Murders, 14.5. The Meg at 10.2. Oh, this is confusing. Mile 22 at 6.2.
There's a lot of point twos in there.
And Mission 6 at 5.1.
Alrighty.
Wow. Low floor.
Happy Time Murder Time coming
Happy
in number 1
time.
for me, instead of the Cray, because that's just how I think this is gonna go. Something's gonna scrape 20 million and right under, and it's not gonna be Cray. So Happy Time Murder Time, $18.2 million as number 1. Number 2, Crazy Rich Asians at 14.1.
But
Number
are they
3,
crazy?
super crazy. Number 3, The Meg, or i.e. Jaws 18, $9.2 million.
No, Dave, it's called The Meg.
Okay, fine. Number 4, Mile 22, Marky Mark, my man, at $6.9 million. And then number 5, what'd you call it, Imp?
Yeah,
Mission Imp. Mission
Imp.
Mission Scientology number 7. So Fallout at 6.3 at number 5. To you, Mike.
I am going with the exact route as Lauren and Matt both did. I'm actually starting exactly with Matt. I put Crazy Rich Asians at exactly 17, which is
I
very
hope
weird.
we both nail it. It'd be
both
so
nail
funny.
it.
I hope you
Like
both
we both.
enjoy
I put it
tied
at
the whole
exactly
thing.
17.
They're all happy, but
Happy
watch
Time
the days
Murders
together.
It's hard to relate this movie to a lot of movies. It's not really like Who Framed Roger Rabbit because this is way more violent and inappropriate.
And Avenue Q is not a film yet, so
No,
we
but
can't
I compared it a
compare
lot
that.
to Team America World Police, and that pulled in about $12 million. It was in about 1,000
That was a
theaters
fun
less,
movie, wasn't
and it also had a lot more famous people around
Yeah,
surrounded
and-
about it.
and
Had a lot
yeah,
more
just-
hype. But I still put it at number 2 at 16.9. Yeah, I feel like Joel McHale brings in a couple million. Number 3, I put The Meg, or Jaws 25. I put The Meg at 10.3. Number 4, The Disappointing Mile 22. I put that at 7.8. And Mission Imp, I put it at number 5 at 7.6.
I literally wrote it shorthand and didn't I didn't anticipate that everybody.
I
was
wrote
gonna
yours
think
guys
about
as
it.
shorthand, and it's either Crazy, Happy, Meg, Mile, Mission.
Nice.
I didn't
Yeah,
write.
Mile 22
Make a story
and
out of
Mile
those
6
words.
is
Yeah.
the same.
I'm illiterate.
So
All right.
some interesting things going on. Obviously, 3 of the 4 of us have almost identical picks.
Yes.
And Dave seems to think Happy Time Murder is going to make some pretty good
You put it at the
money.
highest at 18.2.
18.2 million. So Dave, fucking explain yourself.
So it's got a lot of theaters. I think that it's one of these things where you have to think about that that the idea of the pound for pound list, and you got a celebrity here who is very hot. And I looked at kind of like we talked about Shark in the Water or Creature in the Water movies. This is another one of those puppet movies, or also another weird genre.
I feel like this is a sequel, is it not?
No.
But what I would compare it way more to is Ted. You have one very, very pivotal blockbuster comedy, blockbuster action. She does action too. So I actually compared it more to Ted and to the one with Sandra Bullock that she's with, which I'm dropping the name on, because I feel like Sandra Bullock gives you about as
when
much
they're
comedy.
like a buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gives you about as much comic, ability
Value.
as a puppet. So that to me was kind of where this would line up, a little more near the 20 million. And I thought I was being pretty mean to it. I just don't think that
Not being as mean as
Crazy
me.
Rich Asians got a really great.
Cinema score.
You got a really great everything, but I think it's been overhyped to the point where people are gonna see a bigger drop than they think.
Well, I had Crazy Rich Asians and Happy Time Murders literally $100,000 off of each other. So,
Yeah, I was not too far off myself.
Yeah, I think it's
But
going to be
what
close.
was your
but
what was your ceiling? Your first pick?
15.8.
15. Your first
17
pick was
even
at
on
what?
mine.
17 even.
Yeah, so you guys are all really low on this week. We already had a 12% drop in a really nice summer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Well,
think
and the
kids are
problem
back,
is school
but-
starting up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's next week is
Where
going
you
to be the
kids
same
at?
thing.
I need some Skrilla.
No, you don't.
Not a lot of.
You don't make any money off of them making.
I make a
off
lot.
the
Look
movies.
at all this money.
I
I'm
mean,
winning.
Mile 22's budget was about $50 million, and it only pulled in like 13 million last weekend. So it is a weird time for movies, which is why a lot of big blockbuster movies aren't coming out. There's a Jennifer Gardner movie that's coming out that's like her version of like John Wick and
Yeah.
the Equalizer
yes.
coming out I
She's
think
done
next week.
that.
That's the
Though.
last
She's
one
Peppermint
that
something
she
or
was
something.
in.
Oh, she
Alias.
does so many cameos.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. that
Yeah,
girl.
that
Yeah.
movie looks pretty crazy. Well, speaking of drops this summer, I texted you guys earlier, but what was it? The Darkest Minds. And you guys can fact check. You can go to boxofficemojo.com and you can actually go into the overall, like all the
And
movies
you said it
ever.
had a
And you can
historic drop on a week-to-week drop.
Yeah, literally the largest drop of all time. It was like 2,762 theater drop, which has never happened before. The next one below it was some movie I'd never heard of.
Oh,
and
you're
it was like
talking
5
about
less.
a theater drop,
But literally the number
not
of
like a
theaters.
percentage
But
drop.
the percentage drop, I don't know what. Well, I didn't actually filter
Well,
it.
this does make sense because
But the
Darkest
theater
Minds
drop.
was like a
high
heavily
school kid.
produced movie. Not heavily produced, but it was one of those movies where they put the exact amount into marketing it with like a nobody cast
Right.
as they did to make it. So they spent like twice the amount of money on the film, and then they extended it month after month after month. So Sony was trying to hide this one, I think.
Yeah.
And it tried to drop it in on a week, which is what I had mentioned when I thought it would make the top 5 or barely miss the top 5 or whatever. But yeah, Darkest Minds sounds like it sucked. It
Yeah,
didn't have anything
took
going
a
for it
huge drop, and then that resulted in an 88% drop. which
because
is huge.
movies are
Wow.
only as good as the money they make.
That's
So you can't be making money if you're not in the theater.
Yeah,
Nope.
That's right.
Right,
So
Movie
all
Pass?
the Transformers
Right, Movie
movies
Pass.
are absolutely incredible by our standards. Incredible films.
With
All
Movie
great.
Pass, you can
Masterpiece.
see a new movie that comes out. You can see like a month later, probably. I think that's how they do it now.
Yeah.
Movie Pass is
Thanks,
a lot
Movie
like
Pass.
Netflix, except you do all the work and you go to the theater.
Yeah. You
Oh,
pay just as much.
Speaking of drops, it was announced today too that Disney is not going to bring James Gunn back to direct.
That's right.
That's
Even though
not
the
surprising.
petitioning and the
You know who's excited? DC. They're ready to hire that guy on the spot.
They could.
This is
anyway.
not going to tarnish his reputation because he's going to get another job really fast.
I think that he's a really funny guy who got caught saying something bad, but at the same time, he had this reputation going for him for a while. So I don't know why Disney made the late assessment, but at the same time, like you can't necessarily blame them. They're Disney.
Yeah.
So when you work for Disney, you have to do.
There's a whole other blanket on you.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
have
whole
to
other
spend a
layer.
couple extra $100,000 wiping your entire life clean.
Yep.
You got to go a little off the grid to be on the grid with Disney.
Mhm.
That's just how
Disney is.
This is how you have to work with them.
Get
I
off
mean.
the world grid to get on Disney's grid.
Or get on something, because it helps a lot if you work for them and you're on something. Seems to be how a
Like
lot
drugs.
of the younger
He's talking
people
about drugs.
get, yeah.
He's talking-
Matt,
he's talk-
drugs.
He's talking about.
Speaking
you're talking
about being
drugs.
on something,
Mm-hmm.
you had to be on something to watch one of these movies that Lauren had to watch
Mm-hmm.
last week. Lauren, you had to watch a humiliation film last
Oh
week.
yeah, and it was a great one. Ridiculous 6.
Yes.
A
Was it
classic
ridiculous?
Adam Sandler movie. Classic.
I'm hoping it was ridiculous.
I gave you this movie because
But
we had to attack on the. I don't know what you're doing right now. Leave it
trying to
alone.
help out.
No, you
It's
can
not
help out
helping.
enough.
Don't worry
by
about it.
We've been on a terrible Netflix exchange, you and I, this season, Lauren.
Yeah.
And this is the newest of the terrible Netflix movies. So this is Adam Sandler's production company, and he starred in this one, right?
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean? And he starred in this one. Which movie doesn't he star in that he produced?
This
Well,
is
he
the-
didn't star in the
I don't care.
Assassin
I'm just
one,
kidding.
and that was
Oh,
his company.
was that his-
And the
Yeah,
Father of
but-
the Year was most recent.
There's only one
Netflix
guy
movie.
in
I
the
don't know why
industry.
it's-
There's only one guy in the industry that puts himself in more, like produces himself into more cool guy roles, and that's Mark Duplass. I just think that he's done that in about every single thing that him and his brother have made. He's put himself into the perfect role for him to make himself look good and never too risky. That's kind of what Adam does, like all the time.
At least all I had to say during this movie was at least it wasn't Jack and Jill. It wasn't Adam Sandler playing Adam Sandler.
Right.
This is the prequel to Magnificent Seven, right?
Sure.
Yes.
Right, like 6, 7,
That's
and then
kind
Hateful
of-
Eight
it-
is
it-
after that.
No, it's supposed to be the idea. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's a play on that.
So this movie is 2 hours of a bunch of skits.
Oh.
So
2 hours?
Of just-
oh,
2
that's
hours.
awful.
Okay, so it's like A Million Ways to Die in the West or whatever, but
I actually
his
never saw
version
that
of it.
movie,
No.
but
No.
it felt like
A Million
it was
Ways
just,
to Die in the
it's
West
so
is
hard
horrible.
to sit here and go like, okay, so this happened and this happened because it's too much. I don't remember half of it.
Nice.
Too many specifics. So I mean, essentially though, what happens is we open up on a saloon. We're in old Western times.
So far, it checks out.
So yes, so far so good.
Western check boxes.
Saloon, check. Yep.
So we,
Desert.
Is there a gun?
No, not yet. So we open up, and this guy's got a funny eye, and then one good eye, and it's somebody famous.
Funny
He's
eye.
in a bunch of other-
Funny eye.
Will Forte.
No, it's not Will Forte. This one is.
Oh.
He's in. There's like a bunch of people.
I
Name
love
someone
Will
who isn't
Forte.
in this movie.
Forte.
Best actor in
Will
this
Arnett.
movie. Vanilla. Actually, you're right. He's not in it.
Yes, nailed it.
Who?
First
I
guess.
win.
Will
I just said
Arnett.
Will Arnett, and I was just like, no.
No.
He's
First
not
guess.
In it.
Yeah, he's not in Adam
Yes, name someone who's
Sandler.
not.
Like,
He's in every
Tom
other
Cruise.
but the best actor in this movie was Vanilla Ice. Surprise, surprise.
Nice.
Anyway,
Something I've never heard anyone say ever.
Comedy. He like completely slaughtered everybody else.
And I'm sorry, this
Didn't
movie
even
was
have to
made in
try.
2015, and Vanilla Ice is in it, not in
Wow.
1990s.
Oh wow.
So anyway, we open up to a saloon and opens up the door, and here comes this big figure, and then you see it's Adam Sandler, and he's dressed like an Indian, and they call the
Racism.
Indians, yeah,
Check.
and they call the Indians Indians.
More extreme racism.
check.
Yeah.
Then I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, oh God, is Adam Sandler gonna pretend to be an Indian guy like this whole
no.
time?
It worked for
Wow.
Johnny Depp.
But they immediately said, "Oh, it's a white guy dressed like an Indian guy." So I was like, "Okay." So they're immediately trying to.
Perfect. So
be
they were
like,
they were
"This
recognizing
guy
that
is
he
white."
was
a white guy.
red facing. I don't know what you would say. It's not the right
So-
term. I don't know.
They
Essentially-
called him like White Thunder. He was just like
No,
yeah,
White Knife
whatever.
or something.
White-
So
yeah.
so he was like
White sword.
He was like Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves.
He wasn't trying to be a Native American, though.
Okay, but I guess that's fair. But he like ended up adopting the customs and then became his own.
Sure.
Okay.
So
I like how you're comparing Dances with Wolves to this
Yeah.
movie. Thank you, Matt.
I tried.
I saw that
Lauren.
movie in sixth grade.
Yeah, definitely. 6th grade, 7th grade, maybe.
So, oh man, this movie. Okay, so pretty much it gets the guy mad at him because they're like, "No engines allowed in this place," and he goes,
He's talking about a car.
That's what I was like. Is engines? Is Indian?
He's a mechanic.
And then it totally made sense when I thought about what is it, Engine Joe in that.
Why'd you look at me?
No, in a Mark Twain novel.
Oh, okay.
Tom Sawyer. Yes,
Tom
anyway.
Sawyer. Anyway,
Another thing where they used the racism card.
well, that was the only connection. I was like, oh, is that what that means? Okay. Anyway, and so we move on, and pretty much what happens is you find out he's got these special powers where he can throw knives really fast and move really fast, and
wow.
so he does this whole really dumb cutscene
White
with
knife.
these guys outside who were coming after him, and this is where Will Forte's in this gang, and they all have eye patches on the left eye gang. It's like Will Forte, Nick Schwartzman.
Nice.
Yeah. He's really fucking bad.
Oh no.
Like, there's only actually a couple of people. Anyway,
Adam Sandler's
really fucking
nephew.
Steve Sandler.
Is that right? Adam.
something like that.
Almost
Yeah.
got you
I
on
know,
that.
I don't know.
Sandy Sandler.
This is like a summer camp. This is
Yeah.
just like, hey, everybody, I'm
Some
going to
big
be
black
watching people
guy.
for 3 weeks.
And it was
It
was
yeah,
really
it's the-
weird.
Yeah, it's just
So-
like a bunch of people got together and like, you guys want to make a movie?
Yeah, that's what.
They're a
Oh,
bunch of
no.
friends, you know?
So he beats
David
these
Spade's
guys
in it.
up, and they get all upset. And so then the other guy comes out, and he from the saloon, he goes, "I want to join your guys' gang to go get this guy." And then you meet his. So pretty much he leaves, and you find out he's getting married, and you go to the Indian place that he grew up in.
You said it wrong. It's
you find
engine.
you find out
Don't
that
be
his
racist.
parents, his dad left and his mom died, and he got raised by this Indian tribe. So then his dad shows up, his real dad.
I'm back.
It pretty much,
Surprise.
and it's like, I'm dying and I need this.
It's
and
like
then,
Waterboy all over again.
And
Yeah.
then the big bad gang that he's a part of comes and goes, I'm gonna take you away, you're gonna give me money. So he takes him away, and he goes, I gotta save my dad.
These were lawless
So,
times.
This is like the first 10 minutes of the movie, so I'm trying to just like get through it.
Oh, I get it. So his mission in this movie is he needs to go save his father,
Exactly.
who he's not known his entire life.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
So,
Check.
Because he's like an outlaw.
yeah, so he's like he's an outlaw. His dad is
So
an
he
outlaw.
can't be around his.
But he's a good outlaw. So
No, he's
oh,
not a
the
good
dad
outlaw.
is a bad outlaw, but Adam Sandler, the
Is a
Indian,
great
White
Indian.
Knife, is a good outlaw who needs to
great
save
Indian.
his father. A great.
Not an outlaw. Great Indian.
So pretty much he
sorry.
goes into town and he is like, I gotta find where this money is because he's gonna need $50,000 and blah blah blah. So he's like, I'll be back, and like leaves and goes into town. Finds
Arnold Schwarzenegger sued him for that line.
No.
he finds, I don't know what that guy's name is, but in
Steve.
in one of Adam Sandler's movies, he's got that glass eye. You can do it.
Oh yeah,
Rob
Rob
Schneider?
Schneider.
Rob
Rob
Schneider.
Schneider.
I don't
Yeah.
know what the guy's name is. All these guys are in these movies, and
Yeah.
they're just in these movies.
They all blur
okay? I've
together.
seen
I know, I
Happy
get it,
Gilmore,
I get it,
I've
I
seen
get it.
Waterboy, like,
together.
Well,
they all
and
take
Rob
place
Schneider
in the
does
same
play
universe.
like the
He's
same character in every
No,
movie.
it's the same universe.
Yeah.
He is the character.
He's
that's
actually in
about to-
Waterboy. He's 3,332 years
There's
old.
at least 300 people in this universe that look and sound like Adam Sandler, but they're all different people. Yeah, it's weird.
So we meet Rob Schneider, and he's in the rest of the movie. And honestly, he's pretty funny in this whole movie because he's a funny guy.
Wow, no one's ever said that
But
about
he
Rob
plays-
Schneider.
He plays a Mexican guy, and they
Not
find-
racist at all.
No, and he has a burro that he talks about all the time. And
Yeah, it's really bad.
anyway, and he's like petting the burro, and he's like, "Oh, I love you so much,"
Oh,
pretty much,
no.
and like they make a lot of bestiality jokes.
No.
about
You know what gets me every time? A good bestiality joke.
that. So then they pretty much find out that they have the same dad but different moms. So he's like
Was his mom a
a
burro?
Mexican
Was his
guy, a
mom
Mexican
named
girl.
Martha?
No, and then
No.
so they're like, oh my gosh, well I have to go find my dad, and he goes, let me come with you, and so now he's got two people on his journey to go find his dad.
Wait. So 2. Maybe it's going to be 6?
Catching
Okay.
on.
Oh my
You should-
god.
This is the first
through
5
this.
minutes
You
of
should
the
already-
movie.
Man, we got 2 so far. Let's move on.
So then they're like, oh, we're gonna rob the bank, and then I need your help to rob the bank, and Chris Parnell runs the bank.
And we still got an hour 45 left in this film.
Absolutely. So who are the 6?
No. So then we,
Well, I mean,
no.
like,
We're on 2.
yeah, we're on to 2. Okay.
I don't want to give every detail of the movie, but here we go.
So, no, because I just want to
I just have to give you the
how
6
everybody
details.
Yeah, of course,
gets
of course.
introduced.
So
right,
they-
right. It's like
so
the Mighty
Chris
Ducks
Pa-
thing. You got to get the team together.
Charlie's the captain. All right.
So then, while they're robbing the bank, Taylor Lautner shows up
Perfect.
as brother number 3.
That
and
was going to be
he's-
my second guess,
He's
but
the retard, like quite literally.
One of
like,
2.
Hey
No, he's the-
y'all,
he's
I'm
the-
just little Pete here, and like talks like that the entire movie.
That's almost as offensive as calling him engine.
The running
Yeah.
joke is that he's got a
Pretty
third
bad.
nipple, so they give him that running joke, and that's your character piece, Taylor.
And so then we find out that
And he was
he's
all about it.
also
Yes.
a brother of these guys with a different.
There's a lot of
mother.
happenstance happening.
I'm going to
in
say this is pretty ridiculous.
So he goes, "Oh, you guys are
Times
robbing
6.
the bank while they're doing it," and then he's like, "Well, I can help you guys get away, and I've got a cart." And so
I
then they
love the
leave,
voice.
and
You
they
nailed it.
They leave in a cart.
She did
they
it better.
leave in like a cart, horse and
Taylor.
Okay.
like buggy cart.
Okay.
And then they go off and they fall asleep, and then Rob Schneider ends up killing one of Taylor Lautner's horses, which was pretty funny. And then
Pretty fun. Another pretty funny moment.
Murdering
and then
horses.
we end up.
Check.
Let's see, where do we go next? We go to meet who's the next brother? Oh, they go to this.
They're all brothers.
This cabin and in the middle of the woods, and they meet this mute guy who like talks like. Like literally no words come out of his mouth.
Is it
It's
that
like
guy that
no,
usually
but it's like
does
that
the-
other guy, and it just doesn't make any other sense.
Right.
The mumbler.
but guess who
the
plays
home and
him?
what you making?
Who plays him?
Anybody seen the movie or the show Lost? Felt
Yeah.
like a movie.
Uh-huh.
Hurley.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So he's still real big, and he.
I know he
just
doesn't really
basically-
have anything going on after Lost.
Yeah, and apparently they didn't have to pay him because he doesn't have a real line in this movie.
I have never
They-
seen Lost.
they didn't
No, I'm
have
joking.
Okay,
I'm just
I was
saying.
like,
It's like You can be in it, but everything you say has to be a mumble. We don't have enough money for that fucking word shit.
Look, we decided to add your character yesterday. There's no lines in the script. You got to make your own part.
So then they find out that he's also one of Frank's daughters.
Gay.
How do
Oh.
they find that out? He can't talk.
He has a jug that has the last name on it, and he's like makes like whiskey.
Could find that anywhere.
And he's
Yeah,
like,
he
oh,
could've
and
just
he goes,
got
oh,
that off
that's
their
fine.
dead
And
brother.
it's
He could have gotten
Wow.
it off the
dumb.
dead brother.
So then they bring him along, and then
Why not?
now we've got 4, and then we end up at the
But Ridiculous 4 doesn't sound good.
We end up at the Gold Saloon where they're gonna steal this big giant gold nugget. They're pretty much going around and just stealing money, and then this other
And
gang
finding
with
their
the
brothers.
with the eye patches is following them.
Oh,
trying
the
to, like,
left
get
eye
them.
patch gang?
Forte.
Exactly, yeah.
The
And,
Gruber.
so then they get to the Gold Saloon, and there's the what is the guy's name? The axe body guy.
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews.
He is there playing
Fucking
piano.
Poker? Oh.
And so they're talking to the guy, and they're trying to do all the plans, and they have a plan, and we find out that Terry is also one of their brothers.
Oh.
And at one point he goes,
Interesting.
guys, I just wanted to tell you, my mother's black. And like, I felt really
That's
good to
actually
get it
pretty
off
funny.
my chest.
I'm pretty
I
sure
know
he
that-
wrote that joke.
And then right
No
afterwards,
ad-libbing.
Rob Schneider goes, yeah, well, I'm Swedish. He goes, no, you're not. And he goes, motherfucker. Like, oh, really upset.
Motherfucker.
Okay, this movie sounds great. I'm gonna
Mom.
watch it.
Anyway.
You know what? Ridiculous 5 doesn't sound good enough, though.
And then they also meet Luke Wilson in this bar as well.
No.
Who is
Yes.
also
No
a
way.
brother. So
I-
now we're up to
Yes.
what,
I-
5?
6.
That's
Six.
I think
That's
that,
six.
oh, that is
That's
6.
six.
That's
you know,
all.
and I respect Luke Wilson. I
I do
like him
too.
as an actor. I think he's very
He
talented.
had like the best backstory
What is
of all
he
of them.
doing? What's
So
his
then-
backstory?
Well, you don't know the backstory just yet. He goes,
Right.
I've got to tell my father something. I got to get it off my chest
Hmm.
before I die. Or I'm never, he's like got a deep dark secret.
What?
Deep Dark Secret. Check.
Check. So they go to steal the gold nugget, and the guy comes out that owns this place, and it's like a giant gold nugget
Right.
that they're stealing.
Oh.
And he comes out of this place, and he goes, "Nobody move!" And he has the guns in his hand, and you see 5 brothers standing there. And he's like, if the next person who moves, you're gonna get shot. And he goes, I'm gonna shoot you all anyway. And then goes to shoot him, and then Rob Schneider comes behind with a shovel to knock him out and knocks his head off.
On the burro.
Like straight up knocks his head off.
like
And then the
clean
guy
off?
keeps shooting his guns like a chicken without his head, with his head cut off. And
This all
Without
checks
his
out.
head worked,
This
yeah.
all checks out.
he's like running,
Makes sense.
like shooting the guns like crazy
Okay.
and walking forward. It's a pretty
Realistic.
disturbing
Yeah, I was gonna
scene.
say Lauren probably did not like.
It
this
wasn't
part.
bloody. It was
Oh,
just one of
okay.
those
It
things.
wasn't like spurting blood out of the
No,
hole. in the
actually
top
not at
of
all.
his shoulders.
It was like one
Why
of the
didn't they have you
funnier
as a
moments.
producer, Matt?
Genuinely
I don't know.
funny.
And
Like-
then Steve Buscemi's in this movie too as a doctor who like puts cream on everything and like up a,
Who doesn't?
I don't know. He's in this movie too. That's just a
Hi.
side
No,
note.
you have to say what happens at the in that one part at the very end of the
So
scene.
they go in and they're going to the guy and he's like he's a barber, he's a dentist, he's a doctor and an animal doctor.
That's
too.
actually true. That
So
was
yeah,
actually
he
a
was
real
like
thing.
cutting the hair, and then he went over to the next guy. And he's like, "I'm gonna shave your beard," and then he goes over to the next guy, and he goes, into the guy who can't talk, and he's like, he opens up his shirt, and he goes, "You have to stop doing whatever you're doing with whatever you're doing," and like looking at
Okay,
his
that was
penis.
enough information.
No, and he like grabs some like ointment
Lotion.
and like puts it on him, and then goes to the guy who was shaving the beard and puts the ointment on his face.
Okay.
And then goes over to the donkey and puts his finger up his butt with the ointment, and then comes back out and puts it on.
This turned into a
somebody's,
strange.
tooth
Okay.
as like,
He
and then
put
puts
so
it on
Steve
his
Buscemi puts
chapstick.
it in. Yeah, he puts his finger in
Taylor
Taylor Lautner's
Lautner's
mouth
mouth.
and like wiggles it around. While it's supposed to
Steve-
be coming straight
Is
from the
watching
donkey butt.
Steve Buscemi do that to those people was probably by itself disgusting.
No, I
was-
think it's
That
funny
scene had to
because
have been like 5 minutes.
It
Too,
really was.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were talking this.
oh,
whole
and it
time.
looks like a one take too. Like
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi did it like a pro, but it just what he's doing is so fucking weird.
So, anyways, we move on, and
That scene made me upset.
and now
Not
we
into
pretty
this
much
anymore.
learned what Luke Wilson is hiding, and it's great. So he goes, "I might have done something to lead to the death of the United States president." And then it flashes back to Abe Lincoln and his wife sitting in the
theater.
And he's like, "I was the president's bodyguard." He goes, "I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back." And Lincoln's like, "Are you sure you're going to leave?" Like, are you sure? And he goes, yeah, man, you're a superstar. I'll be right back. No worries. You want a Pepsi? You want a Coke? You want a brewski? Okay, no, cool.
A Pepsi?
And then he
Yeah,
leaves.
They didn't have
They
Pepsi
break
back
all
then.
those rules.
Yeah, and so then he meets.
And then John Wilkes Booth is like, "Hey, I'm here to relieve you. I'll take your spot."
no,
and
no,
like
he
moves
goes,
in.
oh,
And
John
like, how?
Wilkes Booth, the famous actor. You're great, man. And it's played by
Someone famous, I presume.
it's a
Tom
late
Cruise.
night talk show host. I want to say
David Letterman.
No, it's
Seth
not.
Meyers?
It's not actually. It's an extra, but you
Really?
yeah, you thought that it was someone. It was.
I thought
nobody.
it was somebody.
It's with the
Jimmy
theme of the
Fallon.
movie.
Like
It should have been.
No, yeah,
someone,
Jimmy
It was
Fallon.
Jimmy
It could
Fallon.
be, but it was like one of the only line roles.
Yeah,
that,
and he goes, yeah, man. So where's the president? He's all sweaty and stuff. And he goes, oh, the president would love to meet you, man. He's in that last one over there. And then he goes to the bathroom and he's all
Luke,
like, yeah.
you
And then he
messed up.
sits down on the toilet and you hear like the shotgun.
People screaming.
And he goes, no.
and he's on the toilet.
And he like flashes back to real time and he's screaming, no.
It seems like there are
Anyway.
some really great moments in this movie,
what I'm
and then
saying,
there's
it's a
some really
bunch of,
bad
like,
moments in this
Little
movie.
bits that are like, some of them
Tiny
are really
bits?
good and some of them are really like, what is going on right now?
To me, it just felt a lot like SNL. Like
Yeah.
a lot of really good people with like poor content because they didn't try. Like they don't try in this movie.
So do they get the money and
Yeah,
save
so
the
they
dad?
get all the money, and then they go to they're trying to find the singing windmills, which is where their dad is. And so they find,
Sounds like a hard, tough place to keep somebody.
yeah, they find the eye patch gang buried in the ground with their heads sticking out of the ground, and they're like, "What are you guys doing here?" And they're like, "Oh, your dad's gang buried us here," and blah blah blah, and then they're like, "Well, if we're gonna dig you out, then you got to have a real nice life of non-crime." And they're like, "No way, man." And they're all getting eaten by like desert animals and stuff. And they're like, "No way, I'd never do that." And they're like, "All right, fine, we're leaving." And they're like, "No, I'll be a good boy." It's really dumb. So then you leave and you don't know if they're going to be released or not. So then they find their dad with the gang. And then he has a flashback of his mom getting killed and finds out it's the main guy of the gang that took their dad.
Oh.
Because
Played
of the
by?
horseshoe.
John Travolta.
No, Danny Trejo
Really?
Danny
Is the main person of the
Trejo.
gang.
is the
yeah.
main bad guy
All
of the
he
gang.
All
is.
gold grill.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
So then he kills Danny Trejo by throwing a knife at his head.
White
'cause it's
knife.
like,
Perfect, yeah.
you killed my mom. He goes to shoot the bullet and then he throws the knife and,
And
it
it cuts.
splits the bullet in
Oh,
half and
Splits bullet with a knife. Check.
literally hits him square in the center of the
Nice.
head and he just dies instantly because that happens.
That would happen.
Wait, are
yeah.
these things that are in Adam Sandler movies?
Yeah, but
Or
it's
just
great
like-
because Adam Sandler doesn't talk like himself
John
the
Wick
whole
2
time. He
has
literally is
that.
like talking like this and doing this and we must do this and I'm like, thank God.
Yeah,
Like,
dude,
thank
he
you for
just
not,
looks like he was dad. Like he was on set dad. He doesn't really act in the movie, and at one point he even
I
has.
totally
act-
forgot
yeah.
about Vanilla Ice. So then they
Oh!
go
Yes,
to
we wanna hear
do
about this.
before any of this, they go to the last heist that
He's
they're
in
going
one
to
of
do
the
at
brothers?
a poker
No.
game. And so they show up to this poker game, and it's
Mel Gibson
David
shows up.
Spade is Colonel Custard, and
General Custer.
General Custard, and
Custard
then
or just Custer?
Oh my
Custard.
god! Hold on.
I was a history major.
Maybe they named it
Anyway,
different.
Nice.
then there was also Mark Twain, played by Vanilla Ice.
He was Mark Twain.
And it's great. And he goes, "Yeah,
Oh,
man, I got
no.
a sequel to Tom Sawyer. It's Tom and a black guy riding down a river on a raft. People are gonna go ape shit for it."
Oh my god.
They do this whole
No, it's
thing.
it's about Tom's little homie Huck, and Huck and a black guy go down a river on a raft. People are gonna go ape shit.
And then Terry's like, "I'm gonna play the piano." He starts playing the piano, and then Vanilla Ice starts dancing to it, like being
Like
like
Vanilla
croak,
Ice.
yeah. And it's pretty funny. And then you back up, and then he starts doing a rap about whites and blacks getting along and like all this stuff. It's pretty funny. And then
I like how throughout all this racism in this movie, we had to have like
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice preaching it, you know?
yeah, exactly. And then flash forward. That was the best part. Flash forward. We're
He
there.
killed
and-
Danny Trejo.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, we got extra money, and we got another 50 grand," and then they all go away, and they have the dad there, and dad meets all 6 kids.
Of his
and
kids.
he's
And
like,
50
"Oh."
grand back then was like 50 million.
Exactly. So they were like, "Oh my gosh, you have another 50 grand, you have 100 grand," and then the whole gang comes back. And
Oh, shit.
the dad's like, "You're about to learn how bad your dad really is," and all this stuff. So pretty much he's gonna rob them and kill them all.
Sure.
And then they
But they
find
have
out that
a
he's
knife-throwing
stolen his
Indian.
wife or his fiance, Adam Sandler's fiance.
Oh.
And he's like, "Oh my God, I have to
Pocahontas.
save whatever." And he
Basically.
goes, "Well, that satchel was for Danny Trejo. I don't know what the guy's name is." He goes, "Plan B," and they're all like, "Plan B," because they've had a plan B
Yeah,
like
because
in
if
every
we
scenario.
saw that part, yeah.
They have a plan B in every scenario
'Cause
that
they're
they end up
fucking
having to use
genius.
because they're all stupid.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, plan B. And then they open it up and it's a bomb and he throws it and everything explodes. And then he has to go find it. And pretty
His
much he ends
wife?
up
His fiance.
saving his dad and not killing him because he because he tries to kill him, but then he nails him to a wall with knives. And he goes, "I'm not going to kill you because my real dad taught me not to."
Boom. Indian dad. Indian dad. Boom.
Exactly, guys. You're following along. And so then we leave and we go to the wedding and it's super great. And all the brothers and little Pete's talking and he's writing to his mom and he goes, "It's okay though
He can
because
write?
White Leather or whatever the guy's
White
dad
Lightning.
is gonna adopt us all as his children and it's
So they're
great."
still brothers.
And then so then they're dancing and then Mark Twain shows up again. He's dancing at the end too. And then
Yeah.
and then the end.
So like
And then Denzel Washington
is
rolls
this
into
a
town.
humiliation film? Like Jack and Jill definitely was, but was this a humiliation film in your head?
It was bad, but it wasn't as bad as Jack and Jill. I'm gonna say because Jack
This
and
just
Jill
in.
was just like two Adam Sandlers.
I gave you that one, right?
Like no, Matt, you gave me that
I
one.
think Matt did.
Did you? Oh.
I like how proud of yourself you were. You're like, look at I give you that
It's
one.
definitely bad.
It's like two Adam Sandlers over the top, like going crazy. Two of them on screen at the same time, so it's just
Oh,
too
yeah,
much.
that was
It's
bad.
it's made in Dolby Vision. It's 4K. It's got a lot of great special effects.
A
You
lot
can't
of
say it
people that it's
doesn't.
kind of fun to go
A lot
like,
of good
"Oh, look at
cast.
who that is! Look at
Sounds
who that
like
is."
a franchise that we know a lot about and have watched a lot of.
Blake Shelton was
It's like
in this
it's
movie,
basically
too.
just like Marvel but with comedians.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Like the story isn't much better than a Marvel movie's obviously better because it's based off of something, but these
Was
movies are
this
just
not based
like
off of
well-made crap. Like a bunch of really great people that didn't need to work that hard.
They just wanted to make a movie. I don't even think this came out in theaters.
No, it's just a Netflix original.
Did
Yeah.
Jack and Jill come out in theaters?
Yeah.
It did, yes.
Yes,
It
that
did.
did make it.
You looked
to
so
theaters.
angry when you asked that.
Yeah,
You're
he
like,
was
no.
so mad.
No,
Like,
because I saw it on Box Office Mojo with like statistics. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this one made it, and that one didn't, and it didn't make any sense to me. But
Yeah, so this movie was, I would say, a half a boner rating.
half
Whoa.
a boner rating.
Well, Jack and Jill's -5.
Negative boner ratings, like inverted
Like
boners.
inverted all the way
Like
up into
in
my
its-
body
in
and going,
itself.
"What?"
Coming out my
What
throat.
what is our ratings
other-
become?
So,
It's like a pant pocket and like the bottom scuff part of a pant.
So I told Lauren before recording this that I actually got Mike back for her, and I'm just gonna keep it in the same vein of an Adam Sandler film.
Oh, no.
Oh, what?
Adam
Happy
Sandler
Gilmore.
is not in this one. At least I don't think so because I've never seen it. But
I don't
he
think
did.
you read the cast was close
He
enough.
was a producer of it, and here is the synopsis: innocent Midwesterner Bucky Larson works
Oh,
a
no.
dead-end job as a grocery bagger and has never even kissed a girl. Obviously, his life is going nowhere. While watching a stag film with his buddies, he discovers that his conservative parents were once porn stars. That's what the film is about.
This
'Cause I don't wanna
this is
continue
Nick
on.
What's the
Swardson,
name of the
right?
movie?
Nick
Bucky
Swardson.
Larson, born to be a star, right? This is Nick Swardson with the buck teeth and the weird long hair.
This is like Joe Dirt, Grandma's boy.
Joe Dirt,
makers.
Grandma's
Is it?
boy.
This is a
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore production.
This is I think it is a Happy Madison production
Madison,
because
Happy Madison.
because
That's what I meant.
Adam Sandler is
Same-
quoted as being
Yeah,
an
same
executive
makers as
producer.
Grandma's boy, and this is their version of taking.
This is
Nick
one of those I want to
into-
steer clear from.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I saw the trailer for this one and just was like, I remember this because I'm pretty sure it went to theaters as
Yeah,
well.
I think it did.
And so
Here we go.
I was really hoping that Ridiculous Six was more of a punishment for Lauren, but it doesn't sound like it was.
This
Sounds
sounds
like
like
she
it
enjoyed
is.
a lot of it. This one sounds like you're going to be
This
pulling
sounds
your
horrid.
beard out. Yeah, you're going to be
All
pulling
right.
your hair out.
Sounds
your
Don't
like
beard's
pull your
out.
hair
Jack
out,
and
Mike.
Jill.
You're going to have no eyebrows when you come back. It's going to be crazy. Any orifice that
Oh,
has
buck
hair on
teeth
it, you're
when
going
I
to be
come
pulling
back.
it out. Yeah.
Any hole with hair.
Yeah, you're
All
just
right.
gonna be bald.
Here we go. This has been Blockbuster Pick-ems.
Dave just
If
dropped
you
the
want to,
finger.
if you want to hear more about Mike's reaction to Bucky Larson and his parents being porn stars,
Listen to us
you can-
next week.
You can come here next week and listen to us. You can also listen to other episodes. We are on iTunes. We are on YouTube. We are also on www.blockbusterpickems.com, and we love your comments and we also love your dates or your concerns if you're concerned about me.
Concerned about me.
This is not like Jeffy Joe. All right. On that note, this is Blockbuster Pick-ems. I'm David. This is Lauren. This is Matt. That is Mike Fisher. And we are done with the podcast. Everybody have a good night.
Bye. Have a good night.
Everybody have a great one.
Oh, bye, guys.
Have a good time.